alafu ona nani ona
bigambo bya kufuuza Yosefu Koni webale nnyo kulikayo omusasi waffe Morris Ochol tugenda kuwumulamu katono tovaawo nkola mu kitundu ekyokubiri mulimu bingi tobisubwa
balemereddwa
etteeka ku bulwadde bwa mukenenya bannakyewa bagugumbudde Parliament bateekateeka kusisinkana Museveni. Omwana asiza ku byuma abazira kisa batandise okumudduukirira.
Hey there, Mr. Krabs! Are you ready to party?
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it.
Wow! Hello, fellow motor enthusiastics.
Oh, Mr. Krabs!
Isn't there any way for us to return all of them back to normal?
Hey! How'd he do that? The Red Ranger's a bigger problem than I thought!
It's time to finish this thing up!
What can I do to make them love me again?
What are you drawing, Kitty?
Hello?
King Julian, you are truly inspiring.
Ow!
Sponge pot. Woman in ice cream. Fantastic.
There's a war that is going to be seriously debated about. We should not get involved in it as a nation. There's a person who is going to rise up. Pray for the Minister of Health. His life is preserved. In the name of Jesus. Our nation is actually a hindrance, is actually the whole gay thing. The debate is going to rise again.
Twesimye okubanga okyali naffe ku NTV akawungezi. Bannakyewa bategeezezza nga bwe bagenda okusisinkana President Museveni bamuperereze aleme kuteeka mukono ku tteeka lya mukenenya eryayisiddwa Parliament olunaku lwajjo. Bano nga bavudde mu bibiina ebitali bimu bategeezezza bannamawulire nti ababaka ba Parliament bayisizaayo etteeka mu busungu era nti kino kyakwongera okubunyisa obulwadde bwa mukenenya ate mu kifo ky'okubulwanyisa.
Omwezi guno gwonna ababaka babadde mu kuteesa ku bbago ku siriimu nga waliwo obutakkiriziganya ku buwaayiro bumu nga n'olunaku lw'eggulo lwabadde lwa bbugumu nnyo era okukakkana ng'ebbago liyisiddwa. Kyokka kino kijja ab'ebibiina by'obwannakyewa mu mbeera ne boogerera ababaka amafuukuule.
Balemereddwa okulaba evidence gye tulina mu Uganda ne bakozesa kugamba omuntu kyayita emotions. Obusungu mulio gamba nti gundi nawulira egindi eyo yaliyo omusajja eyasiiga abaana akawuka.
Ab'ebibiina bino bagamba nti akawaayiro aka 2039 okusigala mu bbago lino kakutiisa abantu okwekebeza so nga lyerimu ku kkuba ekkulu mu kulwanyisa obulwadde bwa mukenenya.
Kubanga baba bakututte mu kooti baba banoonya obujulizi bwe bawaayo yeyo test gye wakola abantu abasinga obungi kijja kubakaluubirira okugenda okufuna test okukola test kubanga obwe bujulizi obugenda okubasibya.
Akawaayiro akabiri mu kamu kakkiriza omusawo okwogera nti omuntu alina akawuka singa aba asobola okuteeka obulamu bw'abalala mu katyabaga. Akasatu mu mwenda kagamba nti omuntu agezaako okusiiga omulala akawuka ajja kusibibwa emyaka 5 oba okusasula emitwalo 24. Akaana mu akamu kagamba nti oyo asiiga omuntu akawuka mu bugenderevu asasula obukadde 4 mu emitwalo 8 oba okusibibwa emyaka egitakka wansi wa 10.
Mukama waffe president etteeka bwe linaaba nga limutuusiddwako okulissaako omukono tujja kumusaba nga tumwegayirira atwale obuvunaanyizibwa bwe ng'omuzadde.
Bwe batyo baweza okusinkana omukulembeze w'eggwanga ku bbago lino nga tannalissaako mukono. Irene Namyalo, NTV.
Webale nnyo Irene Namyalo. Omwana Francis Kigundu gwe twabaleze olunaku olw'eggulo ng'assiza ku byuma mu ddwaliro lya Case wali ku Buganda Road. Abazirakisa batandise okuvaayo okumuwa obuyambi. Ng'oggyeko abo abawaddeyo ensimbi enkalu waliwo n'abagenze okusabira omwana ono w'omwaka ogumu gwokka Mukama amusuuse.
Bategezeddwa eggulo abasawo nti singa omwana ono Francis Kigundu agibwa ku kyuma kino ekimuyamba okussa yejja okuba enkomerero ye.
He cannot make any breath effort. He depends to machine 100%. He still need oxygen. He still need intensive care, nursing care.
Eddwaliro libanja bazadde b'omwana ono bukadde 130 kyokka ng'ate tebalina we basobola kuzijja. Abazadde bagamba nti baatuuka n'okusaba omwana ono agibweko oxygen bakendeeze ku nsimbi kyokka abasawo ne bagaana nga bagamba nti kijja kuteeka obulamu bw'omwana mu katyabaga.
Tugenze okwesanga nze sikyakola nga biru yo sente zo zeeyongera bweyongezi.
Bino olwabiwulidde abazirakisa bakedde kugenda mu ddwaliro lino okudduukirira Kigundu era ke babadde nako ke basobodde okuwaayo.
Bwe natuuse mu office ku makya nenjogeramuko ne bannange ng'abamu ku bo betukola nabo balabye amawulire gano era nga n'omwana baamulabye. Kati ne mbagamba lwaki tetusondayo akasente konna ke tusobola oba 10, 20, mutwalo zonna z'osobola ne tuziteeka wamu ne tuzitwala mu ddwaliro newankubadde baguzeeyo plate ya mmere emu eya bebi ono oba ey'abazadde kisobola okukolawo enjawulo.
We would like to thank these parents with me from URA. They came as individual parents. They watched WBS and NTV yesterday and they were so touched they decided to contribute the little they could to come and help Kigundu.
Mubalala era mubaddemu n'abagenzi okumusabira Mukama Katonda asobole okumusuusa. Wabula eddwaliro ligamba nti likyasobola okuyamba Kigundu singa abazirakisa nga bano bavaayo okubakwasizaako.
We are actually requesting and appealing to the public, humanitarian organizations, children organizations out there. You can contribute as little as 500 shillings and save a life of Kigundu.
Dini Robo Wasava, NTV Akawungezi.
Oyo abutaase. Bakanyama b'ekitongole ky'ebyobuvubi e Masaka bakiguddeko eggulo bwe bagenze ku myalo ogw'Ennansere ne Lambu. Eno abakulu bano basanze akaseera akazibu ddala okukwata ababadde bavuba obwennyanja obuto kono okukozesa envuba embi. Abantu ababadde batamidde babasindikidde ebigambo ebikaawu nga kwotadde n'okubavuma. Kyokka embeera eno teyalemesezza abakulu bano kukola kyabatutte.
Yabadde Katemba yennyini ku mwalo gw'Ennansere mu Masaka. Abakazi n'abasajja abadde bagangayidde batabukidde bakungu b'ekitongole ky'ebyobuvubi e Masaka abadde bagenza okukwata abenyigidde mu nvuba embi nga bano bwe bamaze obwennyanja obuto.
Njolesa abavubi abavubi bakutta butiba babutudde kati anana asasula ndyewa nasula indawuluddawa ate kati mutulumbya tulina kyokkola tulunda nguuli.
Abatamiivu bano kyebataayogedde nga tebakimanyi. Baatuuse n'okulaga bekikwatako tiba kiba kisoboka ennyanja bagisengule bakijja mu kitundu kyabwe nti kuba bo bakooye okunyigirizibwa.
Era nga mulina sasi tizote
Kwekayiridde ebyo byo tebiriiyo tubijjewo kubanga obantu tuli bangi abana kakati tunuli abantu bonna bonna bagenda kulya kana bwe tuli
kyokka bino byonna bakirabe eby'obuvubi bibayita ku mutwe bagenze mu maaso n'ekyabadde kibatutte era okukakkana ng'omuvubuka David Ziwa yabadde n'obwennyanja obuto akwatiddwa
naye bananga mututtaka katona mukulumba zadde mulinnya lya Yesu kakatona buli kiro kikolimu muyinza namutatuuka gye mukatutte omusajja muwozanya nguli yange agenda kulisajja katimba
obutimba obukyamu nabwo bwaboyeddwa ne bukumwako omuliro ate nga Ziwa yasigadde ku poliisi e Rambu.
Webale nnyo musasi waffe Isa Aliga byabadde Rambu mu bitundu by'e Masaka. Frank Bosa ng'ono yakiikirira abannannyini ttaka erisangibwa mu ggombolola y'Ekinyonyi mu disitulikiti ey'e Mubende agamba nti tebalina nteekateeka yonna ya kugoba bantu ku ttaka eryo. Ono ategeezezza nti kyayagala kwe kulungamya enkolagana yaabwe ne bannannyini ttaka. Frank kati agamba nti bayimirizza ebyokupima n'okukyusa obwannannyini ku ttaka eryo okutuusa nga abasenze ne bannannyini ttaka basazeewo ekyenkomeredde. Kino kyaddiridde olukiiko olwakubiddwa mu kitundu ekyo ku bbalaza ya Sabbiiti eno nga lwayitiddwa omumyuka wa RDC mu kitundu ekyo Evelyn aliko bw'atyo okugonjoola ensonga z'ettaka.
Enteekateeka yange nga agenti w'abannannyini ttaka tebantumangako n'olunaku n'olumu kusengula abantu bantegeeza era ne bansaba ngoberera amateeka g'ettaka eggwanga lye galambika obulungi nti abasenze baligestalinge ti ku ttaka lyo oba ku ttaka lyaffe balinako obunene bwe buti nti basobola okusasula obusuulu asobola okwegula tusobola okugabana oba nsobola omugula zino olukiiko lwakubiddwa Mubende nga lukubirizibwa MP we Mubende mu kitundu ekyo eky'Ekiyuuni lwasazeewo ebikolebwa byonna biyimirire bo ne bagezaako n'okwagala nsayininga ekiwandiiko nti waakiri ettaka tuliguze Uganda Land Fund mu Uganda Land Commission ebiwandiiko n'eŋŋaano biteekako emikono wabula kye nasabye nti endagaano zonna ze nakola n'abantu nga bakkirizza ku lwabwe nziyimiriza fotokopi n'enzikwata n'enziwa RDC nga tulinda ekiddako.
Kulikirayo nnyo ddala munnaffe mu kuwummula okwo ag'ebyemizannyo akawungeezi ka leero gaagano. Abatendesi b'omuzannyo gwa volleyball 29 be beetabye mu musomo ogutegekeddwa ekibiina ekikulira omuzannyo guno mu nsi yonna nga kikolera wamu ne kinnaakyo ekigukulira wano mu Uganda. Omusomo guno ogugenda okumala ennaku 5 nga gukwajja gwogeddwako nga ogw'okubangula abatendesi abanaakola ogw'okutumbula ebitone by'abamusaayi muto.
Abatendesi bano abakungaanidde Lugogo ku ofiisi za Uganda Olympic Committee boogeddwako nga abakotte omumuli gw'omuzannyo gwa volleyball ogw'ebiseera eby'omu maaso. Omutendesi w'abatendesi Alemayo Shawatu okuva mu ggwanga lya Ethiopia yasindikiddwa ekibiina ekifuga omuzannyo gwa volleyball mu nsi yonna ekya FIVB okujja okubangula bannayuganda bano. Abatendekebwa bano basuubirwa okweyambisa obukugu bwe banaafunda mu musomo guno okugenda mu masomero ag'enjawulo mu ggwanga ssaako n'ebitundu mwe bava okuzuula ebitone ebinaaliikiriza zi kiraabu wamu ne ttiimu y'eggwanga mu biseera eby'omu maaso. Mu bimu ku bintu bibagenda okubangulwamu mulimu okumanya okuteekerateekera ttiimu zaabwe, okugunjawo obukodyo ttiimu bwe yeeyambisa ssaako n'okuteekateeka abazannyi mu mbeera ebasobozesa okuwangula omuzannyo. Sam Mpoza, NTV akawungeezi.
NTV, turning on your world. Today's highlight.
What are you doing here?
Alejandro, it's just, I was released from the hospital.
That much is obvious. What I don't get is what you're doing in my house dressed like that.
I invited him to stay here.
I think Max is overreacting with Francisca. But deep down, I understand.
You are going to support him not talking to his mother? Simply because she's in love?
No. I'm just saying it's only jealousy, and he'll get over it.
No. I will not get over it, David.
Today's highlight.
And the change of government won't stop a thing. I've run out of fingers counting the number of multinationals setting up here. What about the 3 companies that announced their plans to launch last week? I say they're shortly. Me, I'd be looking to sell. At what price? More. Much, much more. I don't know who you are or how you know these things, but one thing I'm sure of, you're in the wrong job. Here, call me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to hear more from you.
Are you ready for your big break? The East African, understanding the region.
You're watching Morning at NTV.
It's the day that comes before the day that comes before the day we look forward to. And that is Saturday, which is the weekend. But Thursday is definitely ready for you. The 15th of May, 2014. And my name is Brian Mlondo, live from the rooftop of the Kampala Serena Hotel, ready to make sure that your morning is awesome. Simon Kasiate, Joel Senyonyi, Mabel down at the NTV studios, and Isma are all ready to make sure your day gets started. But why don't we do that with the question of the day? So, as usual, the platforms are available: Facebook, Twitter, SMS, and all are Morning at NTV. You can also follow us individually on our Twitter handles at mbgold2, at Simon, at Kasiate, at Joel Senyonyi, at Dakaba Chigongo, and at Mebkeb. Feel free to tag at NTV Uganda. This morning, what is making the headlines? Mabel, who is at the NTV studios right now.
Good morning and thank you very much, Brian. Making headlines today, lawmakers are plotting to increase their gratuity and pension. The UPDF enlists the use of sniffer dogs in the search for Joseph Kony, and security at Entebbe has impounded a consignment of ivory and rhino horns. Welcome to Morning at NTV. My name is Mebo Kevirunji. Lawmakers are plotting to increase their gratuity and pension. NTV has reliably learnt that MPs would want to do this by consolidating their emoluments into a salary to enable them attract a larger gratuity and pension. The proposal mooted by the Parliamentary Commission through the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, according to sources, will dig deep into the pockets of the taxpayer.
Currently, a member of parliament earns a consolidated pay between 20 million and 28 million shillings per month, depending on one's mileage. Most of this money is paid in form of allowances and does not attract taxes. NTV has reliably learned that the Parliamentary Commission resolved to increase the salary of each member of parliament last financial year from 1.5 million shillings to 6 million shillings per month, but this proposal was dismissed by President Yoweri Museveni. Now a proposal is being mooted to consolidate the allowances of members of parliament into a salary. This, according to sources in parliament, is being done to increase gratuity and pension of MPs. An MP's gratuity
She was molested when she was 6 by someone she trusted.
The doctors finally walked into the door. They basically were telling me that
she had a 5% chance of living.
I couldn't understand how somebody that tells you they loved you, that held you as a child, could abuse you.
Tommy Scott grew up among gang violence, drugs, and poverty in the projects of South Central Los Angeles.
I felt not normal, not good. I wasn't lovable.
As a teen, Melissa discovered that drinking gave some relief.
Tommy is free today and continues to tell people that it was Jesus who changed his life.
The time I spent in prison, I spent putting my ideas together on, how I was going to come back and make it all right.
And I realized my purpose, that I was created to reflect the glory of God.
Duke now realizes why God kept him alive.
These were real people facing desperate situations, just like you and me.
Jesus died to set you free, and He can give you a new heart.
Ekifo ekimu kisawa musu n'ekyalo ekiweddeko abamanye bakinaza mumwa. Tugenda kutuuka gy'oli oyogere naffe ebikwata ku kyalo kyo, embeera mw'okolera, ebyobufuzi, ebyobulamu n'ensonga endala nnyingi. Ebyogerwa tebiyita. Tuusa eddoboozi lyo, yogera naffe buli lwakuna otereevu ku NTV akawungeezi.
Mikwano gyaffe bana NTV ate naddala mu bannaamu muli gw'emizannyo. Muli gw'ebyemizannyo gukomyewo 2014 ate mutya. Kati ate gukyusiza n'obudde. Gwa musanvu kitundu wali gwa mwenda ne gugoberera ntusanyuka kati gubongereddeko wano malya g'ebyemisana awo. Busooke gubatayize gubaletire bintu kyonna kalonda n'ebyemizannyo. Ogwo gw'ebyemizannyo mupya 2014 Isima waali alagira Argentina yenjo mukubira eddiba lye omukwano gujja kukomawo ku muli gw'emizannyo naye kasita kinatuuka eri bano ba Messi okulumba abalenzi baffe ba Thiago Silva awo tewali mukwano omuli gw'ebyemizannyo 2014 President.
Running out of airtime can happen to anyone. The next time you recharge, simply dial *161# to get going again.
On the next episode of...
Good push kick there against the
very
Bucks.
nice from Andy. Well, this one should have everyone on the edge of the seats. No matter who wins it, it's going to be exciting. To the body by Sauer. Really sharp, that wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what Payton can't do. They can't keep backing away because it's what Sauer wants. Very smart fighter, very clever.
Good catch and leg kick. Good shot. And see the counter, Kieran. The exchanges, Murat direction always seems to come off better.
Running out of airtime can happen to anyone. The next time you recharge, simply dial *161# to get going again.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and
10 after
Ryan
8,
Mulumbu.
and we're still going on with the Morning at NTV from the rooftop of the Kampala Serena Hotel. A very good morning to you if you're just waking up, and here we do this every morning from 5:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. And of course you can join our platforms on Facebook, Morning at NTV, and Twitter at Morning at NTV. Now before the break we had Simon and Suhaili Mugabe, our very own Suhaili Mugabe, talking about the famine and drought in Napak district. Uganda was once the food basket of Africa. What has happened? Why does a country like this, that is literally depending on agriculture, have to lose some of its people because they don't have food? 2 weeks ago, we hosted the commissioner in charge of crop production in the Ministry of Agriculture, and she told us we are food secure. So if we are food secure, why are we still having people lose their lives because they don't have food? A couple of your reactions this morning. Engineer Michael saying climate has played a very big role in making sure that we don't have enough food. Isaac Kabanza saying, I think hunger in Karamoja is caused by heavy sunshine. Igor Morris, that famine story is really sad, but thank you guys for covering it. Mwangusa saying, bring them on board for the MPs in that area to see, so that their kids don't stay in Kampala and to remain, instead of remaining silent in Parliament. Yep. Simon, Suhaidi there saying that, you know, a couple of MPs called me and asked me why did I have to do this story about their region. And one of you reacting to the story there that MPs are always strangers to the truth. All right. We also had a couple of your comments on Facebook. Mabel will be coming up in a couple of seconds to tell us what you wrote. And later on the morning show, I'll be talking with a lady that has written 2 series of managing taxation in Uganda. In case you've been dodging, in case you've not paid, maybe our MPs are helping us make sure that some of you pay taxes because you have continuously eluded them. But for now, Mabel, who is being born today and who are we celebrating?
Today being born is Emmitt Smith. He is a retired American footballer. He turns 45. A picture of him here. He played for 15 seasons in the 1990s up to sometime in 2000, and he broke a record of being the all-time rushing leader. He now has some enterprises where he's trying to help the black communities. Also born this day, someone who turns 33 is a very modern royal. She is Zara Phillips, the daughter of Princess Anne, the granddaughter of the Queen. And here she is feeding her baby, and if I don't know how clearly you can see this, but she's actually texting at the same time. I'm not yet a mother, but maybe this is something I could borrow. I'm not too sure about that, but very modern. Obviously beautiful car there. And on our Facebook page we have Isaac sending greetings to Singwire Papias and Elsie Omana. May they live to blow many candles. Some other messages. Job Matovu says he is late for the show because the traffic is killing him. And Eric here saying the chemistry in the morning at NTV team is great. We have Handsome Leo saying Mbu Uganda can produce food for the entire continent, yet we can't even feed our own people. Government should wake up. And we have Ronald saying MPs in Uganda are only parasitic at this moment. And someone here congratulating the aviation police, saying they have done a good job to coyer these issues of drugs and ivory at our airport. And on to the big story, some of your comments. We have Keith Main saying, really, should we still have famine in Karamoja when the First Lady is the Minister of Karamoja? I wonder whether we have a responsible government. And James Jaria saying they put a flag on the moon when they can't find food for the starving tummies. The Minister for Karamoja spends millions to go to Karamoja. God save us. Isaac saying, I think hunger in northern Uganda is caused by heavy sunshine to serve government yet Yambi. Sharon Awar saying we should do something for the people in Karamoja other than just sitting around to wait for aid, and for MPs who don't feel a need to do something about this. Remember, you can continue your messages, sending your messages to our Facebook page. But right now we are going on to Brian, who is ready with this tax story. I'm interested to know whom you have.
Well, thank you so much, Mabel. Now, June 12th is going to be a very important day in the life of Uganda. The budget will be presented. And as usual, most people will expect the Honorable Maria Chwanuka to come with her briefcase and do what she usually does. But the most important thing following in the days to come are the alternative sources of revenue that government is going to come up with because well, it is on record that most of the donors pulled out. While project funding may be continuing, where are we going to get the extra revenue to make sure that we meet our budget needs? But this morning, I'm going to be talking to Christine MUGUME, who has written a book on managing taxation in Uganda. Have you been paying tax? Have you been eluding the officials? Should we maybe return to graduated tax where you have to pay and have KCCA officials chase after you? We'll be talking that and more on Everyday Life. Good morning. Well, Christine, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Are you usually up this early?
Yeah, definitely.
Or
I'm always up, what do I say, 2 a.m.?
What? That's a very ungodly hour.
Yeah, because if you have to create time to do some work like this, you cannot do it during the day.
Yeah.
Because during the day you're running other errands, so you must create time. So I wake up at 2 o'clock, sit. I'm an early sleeper. Don't be worried, I don't go joints. So I sleep early, wake up early, then work. Then maybe 6 o'clock, I rest a bit. By 7:30, I'm up again. I rest like 1.5 hours.
All right.
And then move on.
Right.
I move the day.
This is a very good book. You've written the second edition of Managing Taxation in Uganda. But before we even go there, tell me about you. Who is Christine? Who is Christine MUGUME?
Christine MUGUME is, should I start with married with two, like I said, a handsome guy in town.
Right.
Cool, actually the word is cool, by the names of Cedric MUGUME.
Right.
We have 5 children, and qualifications, I'm a tax consultant, I'm a SCCA fellow, yes, I'm a chartered accountant, and therefore I am an auditor.
Oh,
I can audit your books,
right.
Yes, and certify. I'm licensed by ICPAU.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Then besides that, I'm a tax consultant. And where did I start my consultants or my taxation profession? From Uganda Revenue Authority, where I worked for 6 years and trained as a tax assessor, then got a postgraduate diploma in taxation and revenue administration. And then moved on and did ACCA and have done my master's in business management after that, and I've had many other certificates, but currently I've worked with other audit firms like PKF, where I was a tax manager, then PricewaterhouseCoopers, also as a senior tax manager.
Definitely rich CV.
Yes, I've tried to build it up, and then currently I'm running my own consultancy firm and an audit firm.
Wow.
Yes, audit firm is still a baby. I'm just 3 years out of employment, but I'm building it up.
Well, there are 2 books now.
Yes.
But starting from the first, what prompted you to come up with such a book? Because I've never seen anything like this. Most of them will give us the taxation models in Uganda.
Yes.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
But this is different. What made you write a book like this?
So the genesis of this book was out of curiosity when I was working with PKF as a tax manager.
Okay.
And then some of my staff were doing some CPA papers, and one of them is paper 8, which is taxation.
Okay.
I mean, basic taxation really. So, and when results came out, 70% had failed. It's like 30% had passed.
It feels like the Makerere University story of 70% failing pre-entry exam.
So you're like, I asked, what is it that makes people fail tax? Because remember, I trained in URA.
Right.
Under URA as a tax assessor, we had gotten very good training before you become an assessor. So, and I found taxation flowing. And I was wondering why people are failing.
Right.
So anyway, the staff were not sure, and then we said, I asked them, by the way, who is lecturing in those colleges? And we went to a few colleges, and we discovered actually the people who were lecturing were not practicing. As in, they were not in the field of taxation.
Okay, they were just, they went to school.
You can get the law, the act, it, and
Right.
the way you want. So anyway, but they were not practicing. So I said, you know what, I'm going to know, and the word